Now, while all eyes are on one American trade war, another equally fierce American-Aussie clash is brewing. The battleground, one of the biggest games in American sport.
American college football. It's an amateur sports league played by university kids. And yet, the hype is real. The multi-billion-dollar business attracting crowds of up to 100,000. TV audiences exceeding 10 million.
Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back!
Of the 10 largest sports stadia in the world, 8 are US college football venues.
Can you believe what you just saw?
But a controversy is brewing involving punters who kick the ball to the other end of the field, specifically Aussie punters.
The punter from down under.
That's right.
It's not a great Australian accent.
It's not a great accent.
Almost half of all punting positions in top-tier American college football are filled by Aussies. Former Aussie rules players landing full scholarships to prestigious universities.
There's 70 players from Australia. How is that happening? How is there's 70 players that are on full scholarship?
While Americans grow up throwing footballs, Aussies grow up kicking them. Australia becoming a punting breeding ground.
Learning how to say what's up instead of g'day.
Now calls are growing to kick the Aussies out. The father of one American teen punter launching a class action, accusing the National Collegiate Athletic Association of giving Aussie athletes an unfair advantage, claiming lenient age rules are allowing older, physically mature Australian punters to snag the spots of younger American hopefuls.
They're competing against oftentimes 25-year-old Australians with 6, 7, 8 years of Australian Football League experience. So these guys have been punting the ball to each other their whole lives. I don't have a problem with that. If they're 18 years old.
So are Aussies getting preferential treatment, or do they simply possess exquisite kicking prowess that leaves their US rivals in the dust?
Hey, they have great talent, there's no question, but they're grown men. That's facts. When you see somebody that's 30 years old, that's kind of a late start to get into college.
Well, Thomas McMillan is co-host of the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast, which is an Aussie NFL podcast. He joins us now. Thomas, do you think the Americans have a reason to complain? I mean, we're talking half the college punters, so we're around 70. They're Australian.
No, not at all. These guys that are, coming in at a later age, haven't grown up around the sport like the other guys have. So realistically, we're coming into the game later. Yes, a lot of them do play AFL, NRL, but punting the ball is very different from kicking AFL ball. So I don't see it being a correlation that they can complain about.
But the age thing does, I don't know, there seems to be a point there, doesn't there? If you've got all these grown men competing against boys in college football, I mean, is there an unfair advantage for us?
Again, I don't know how many of these college kids that you've seen, and a lot of them, 17, 18-year-olds are men already. So I don't think the size of the guys that are coming in is much to worry about.
Now, we've just seen an Aussie win a Super Bowl with Jordan Mailata. It's very exciting, and I feel like there's more eyes in Australia on American football than ever before. Could we see a bigger boom with Aussies kind of getting into the sport? Maybe we could get that number up. Maybe we could have every kicker. Maybe we could even have an Australian quarterback. Dream big,
Oh, absolutely. And Jordan's been huge for the sport down here. But, we've got 6 other players that are currently on rosters in the NFL, and they're all doing great things. And then Flag making it into the Olympics, LA 2028. It's just all eyes on flag football and the NFL football down here. So it's growing year on year, and it's only going to get bigger.
Hey, Thomas, should we be worried that maybe not so much a brain drain, but like a muscle hustle will eventually start losing talented young Aussie kids to America?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think it's something that we should be proud of, the fact that we can send these kids over there. If they are kids at the time, they might be a little bit older and making their own choices by that stage. But should we not be promoting this and the fact that we can go over there and make a difference? And they're also going over there, they're student athletes as well, so getting a college degree and promoting their life, and I feel like it's something we should be up and about instead of trying to bring it down.
Thomas, if they maybe want to cap these Aussies going over there and play these Yanks, do we hit them where it hurts? Do we ban them from coming over here and playing Aussie rules football?
Well, Mason Cox is the the prime example of that, isn't he? He's come over and technically taken one of our jobs. Are we going to start?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
complaining about
He's a great guy, but I think we need to make an example of him.
I've got this.
Yeah.
The only Australians that can go over and punt for them
Yeah.
are Collingwood players. And then your ban works because then Collingwood don't get Mason Cox either.
Exactly.
Everyone wins.
We get rid of Collingwood.
Look what
We've solved it.
You've started on the desk here, Thomas. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.